what's up, guys? Listen, if you guys don't know, I did a live last night when I broke down how Simon Gabodia basically scammed a whole private plane from NetJets. Okay. It was a long live, an hour and 43 minutes. I have receipts in there, the court documents, out of this, that, and the third. I'm going to break it down for you guys in under 5 minutes. What's going on for those of y'all that don't got time to watch a 5 minute hour and 43 minute live? Let's get into this. All right. What happened? Okay. Simon was always flying private. It was one of the things that he used to establish his wealth for Fallon to get on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, in that time, okay, this started in 2020. Now, what was the nature of the deal that Simon had with this private jet leasing service, which is called NetJets? It's called a fractional deal. What does that mean? It's almost like paying for an Airbnb, or more importantly, a vacation Times Square. Imagine you and your friends all go to the club. A bottle of Grey Goose is $1,500. You all give $150. You guys are all sharing the couches in the VIP, and you're sharing that bottle. That is much like what happens in NetJets, except for in NetJets, okay? And this is very important to remember. You pay into the monthly maintenance for pilots, for airplane insurance. You pay your certain portion. The bigger portion you pay, the more access you have to the calendar for the jet. Now, when you use the jet, you pay an additional fee you pay hourly fuel fee, and you pay an hourly fee for the pilot. Are you guys getting what's going on? In any case, Simon did not own that plane. He was not leasing that plane. He was one of many that paid for the exclusivity, if you will, of using the jet. Now, I know what a lot of y'all saying. Well, baby, that's still money leasing a private jet. It is, if Simon had paid. NetJet, in their filing, revealed some key things. What's the first thing they revealed? The contract started in August 21st, 2020. Simon was trying to craft a fake image. He wanted Fallon on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, this is my personal opinion when I say Simon knew that the key to getting bigger scams with bigger people was to solidify Fallon as a rich housewife. Everyone would believe he was loaded, and then he could con who he wanted. Who was the first person that looked like he conned? Porsha Williams. Now, it's important to note that in July 3rd of 2021, Simon had a deal up until then, okay, of paying, I believe, around 12% of the total fees into the jet, and that allowed him to use the jet 12% of the time in the calendar. Around July 3rd, 2021, he increased that timeshare from 12% to 15.625%. Again, he agreed to pay more. He entered into a binding agreement. Okay, interestingly enough, that is around the time that he started romancing Porsha, flying her out on private jets, flying her out on this, flying her out on that. Hold on, guys. Let me get to this because the scam is coming, okay? But I'm just giving you the setup. We're going to keep it short, 5 minutes or less. Flying her here, flying her there, okay? Porsha thought she hit the jackpot. Little did she know that that lick was scamming her, because Porsha looks like, in my opinion, she turned into the target. Okay, now, she started the contract in April 21st, 2020. July 3rd, 2021, he increased his amount of pay he was going to be paying. On February 28th, 2023, let's not forget that Porsha and Simon got married in November 2022. In February 2023, NetJets cut off Simon's account. He was persona non grata. Why? Because in the whole time he had started that account, until they in 2020, until they cut him off in 2023, he had not made one payment. Not one payment. Simon had accrued, and let me just get this up here. Simon had accrued $974,213.11 in a little under 3 years, flying back and forth and flossing for Instagram. Now, we can say that maybe he was flossing. I believe when you look at Simon's past, and I'm going to do a live diving into it because, baby, I got some more tea. This was a concerted effort to give the illusion of wealth. And it worked. It fooled Porsha. It fooled housewife fans. It fooled almost everyone. And most importantly, it fooled his future investors. It's not over, though, because, baby, a scam is going to scam 24 hours a day. Listen, scams will forever scam, right? And stupid never sleeps. And, baby, listen to what I have to say and then let me know what you think each other was. Now, on or about August, so they cut him off on February of 2023. On or about, and he owes almost $1 million, not including interest, penalties, all this other stuff. On or about, if you want the actual court documents, they are in my live, okay? On or about August 23rd, 2023, right? The plaintiffs, which are NetJet and Simon, entered into an agreement where they said, hey, listen, we'll take away some of the fines. Can you just enter into a payment plan? Pay $25,000 a month for 34 months, and we won't sue you. We'll call it even. Simon agreed to enter into that payment plan. Now, one would imagine one of the reasons he thought he wanted to enter back into that payment plan is because, okay? It's because he needed that private jet again, because people were once again starting to wonder, what do you do? Where's your wealth coming from? If you do remember, around February 2023, that is, I believe, the last time that Porsha and Simon were caught on a private plane, aside from the alleged recycled pictures they used to extend their lifestyle. Again, much like Hush Puppy, Simon was fluffing, right? And it looks like Porsha was helping him fluff. So NetJets said, no, Simon, people are saying Simon reapproached NetJets and said, listen, can we do a payment plan? And if I do a payment plan, can you reopen my account? NetJets was like, yeah, maybe. Let's just work on this payment plan first, right? Now, this is speculation that Simon reapproached Netflix to have access to his account. But if you look at his whole background, it's not too far off from the truth. Regardless of why he decided to enter into the payment agreement, a payment agreement was struck. It was completely confidential. Why? Because the real owner of the private jet that lets people, like, do timeshare on the private jet did not want their name released. It was a confidential agreement. But in the court documents, they say on or about February 23rd, 2023, they entered into an agreement minus penalty for $839,296.11. This was on April 23rd, 2023. Now, I know what you're saying. Where's Porsha come in? Is her name on the lawsuit? No, but we do have Georgia's marital debt to show why Porsha is responsible for this. In addition to Simon, let's get into this. They said, let's do it. We'll give you a payment plan of monthly installments, I believe, of 34 months with interest. They have him on 18% annual, which is, I believe, compounded interest. If you have student loans, you know that's nasty work. The compounded interest, baby. You know that's nasty work. Anyway, right? They did a release agreement. The release agreement was agreeing they would not sue Simon. They would not put it on his credit report. He would pay the monthly payments, okay? Here's where a scammer is going to scam. Simon made the first monthly payment of $25,000. Again, I speculate that he made that payment because he wanted to show NetJets, see, I got money. Let me get back on and let me start writing why I'm paying this off. NetJets was like, no, baby, just pay it off. Simon, he made that one payment of $25,000. He never made another payment again. This man was riding private for over almost 3 years. Had his wife, had his mistress, divorced his wife, got his mistress, turned her into a wife, had Porsha on there bragging. Look at the videos. You see when she gets out the car, stepping out in Dolce & Gabbana heels. She got a Fendi bag, baby. She wearing Dolce & Gabbana head to toe. The guy holding the umbrella has a NetJet slogan on the umbrella. They're taping it. Porsha, right? She thought she hit the money. She was bragging about how wealthy her husband was. If it was true, good for you, Porsha. You hit the mother lode. Go ahead and brag about how much money you got. Porsha did not realize she was being used as an advertising board for what, in my opinion, was to make Simon look more successful than he was and to pull people in. So they're bragging, right? Porsha, maybe she knew, maybe she didn't. We don't know. She's going quiet. She's playing innocent. Even when she was on TikTok doing her, I ain't stressing the day. I ain't stressing the day. People wondering how my day is. I'm doing good. She's out there dancing in that thing in Costa Rica, that Airbnb. If you ask me, she is out there saying, how does it feel to be me? Very good. Thank you. Fronting, stepping into the private jet. The NetJet executive that was probably close to getting fired because they were not collecting payment for Simon. You might be wondering, how did this happen? Baby, anybody knows. The bigger your perceived money, the more people will let you slide with paying, especially if you come with excuses. Oh, it was an international transfer. I don't know what happened. We're in the middle of corporate. Can I get that? Again, they represent real, authentic millionaires. So for someone to rack up a bill that big, they're just like, all right, are you paying or not? It's only when it got close to $1 million that they were like, you haven't paid one time. We got to cut you off. Okay. Simon only paid them out of using a jet for almost 3 years with everyone, $25,000. He owed them close to $1 million. He agreed if they took off fees, he would pay in a payment plan. He made one payment of $25,000. It was supposed to be for over 34 months. And then he completely ghosted them. Porsha, on the other time, maybe unbeknownst to her, was antagonizing the people, the many people that Simon owed money. But again, Porsha didn't realize. She thought she got some old man that just like some young type, right? She didn't realize that she was the target. Again, they sued him for breach of contract. They bought this public. They even said that they want him to pay attorney's fees. They want punitive damages. They're attaching that 18% credit card. Listen, now, what does this have to do with Porsha? Even though they're suing Simon and Simcoe, because the word on the street is that Simon gets all this credit in his ex-wives' names, in his businesses, and then he rips it all to shreds. Again, Simcoe was one of the people that Simcoe, his corporation, was on the actual contract care of Simon Gabodia. Okay. I got some tea on that. I might go live. I will go live later to discuss it, but baby, we got to talk about this. Okay. In any case, and also the way somebody's like, but where does his money come from? Y'all, I think I figured out where Simon's money comes from. And baby, it looks like it was all a scam. Anyway, let me just get through this. Am I under 5 minutes or whatever? We'll keep it clear and concise. Anyway, right? We go to Porsha. What does she have to do with this? Because everybody's saying, well, that's Simon's debt. No, because the debt was incurred. The debt was incurred when they were married. Yes, Porsha was flying around on those jets. Yes, she was benefit, but Simon's the one that paid for it. He signed a confidential agreement for $25,000 a month for 34 months to pay off the old debt. He reneged on that. They sued him, not for that old contract, but for the new breach of contract. That actually happened. And they brought it to the court why Simon and Porsha were married. That officially becomes Simon's debt. But when debt is incurred, and I'm talking about when it goes to court for payment and you are still married, your marital assets in the law in Georgia requires that marital debt is divided equitably between the divorcing parties, with each spouse being responsible for their fair share of the debt. That is 50-50. Okay? People say working with a skilled family law attorney can reduce the chances of an inequitable debt division. Now, Porsha can go and say, well, he did all of it, but it's not me, except for the fact that Porsha was all up and down Instagram bragging of her being on these flights with Simon. You cannot say this is just your husband's debt. At least I would imagine when you were enriched, when you joined it. It's not like Simon used the private plane and you never stepped foot out and you're like, I don't have anything to do with this. No, baby, you helped spend the money. You are. What's more, they said Are married couples responsible for each other's debt in Georgia? In states such as Georgia that follow the equitable division rule, both spouses will be responsible for paying the debt that either spouse accrued during their marriage. Again, Simon accrued that debt through non-payment during their marriage. What's more, unlike the jet, when you wonder what happens to that house that Porsha doesn't have her name on, marital property, on the other hand, is subject to division according to the principle of equitable distribution. That means the property is divided between the spouses according to what's equitable. However, Simon bought that house before him and Porsha were married. And he did it, I think, on purpose. During a divorce, separate property is typically retained to its original owner. So Simon bought that house before Porsha and him were married. He's the only person on the deed. That is separate property. Again, it's different for debt and property. Separate property is retained by the person that bought it into the marriage. However, when it comes to anything acquired during the marriage, such as this debt bill, well, baby, that's all that. You guys, listen, I have a bunch more videos to do. Hit that notifications, or if you said whatever, y'all know what to do. It's YouTube, baby. I hope that was a quick, easy thing and it streamlined everything. But baby, I got a lot more juice, but I just wanted to condense what was going on in my life in under 5 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I made the 5 minutes, y'all. But once again, I will be going live. You know, it's going to be members only Monday. I think I figured out where Simon gets his money from. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.